Imagine waking up with a wedding ring on your finger you don't remember putting there. Photos on a nightstand, you and a man, a cake, a first dance. You look deliriously happy, but you don't remember any of it. Then that man walks into your hospital room and says, "Thank God you're okay," and you have no idea who he is. On a rainy Tuesday in October, Emily ran a red light. A delivery truck. Impact on the driver's side. She was unconscious before the car stopped spinning. Aaron got the call at work and made the 20-minute drive in 9. For 2 days, she didn't wake up. He sat beside her bed, telling nurses her favorite song, the way she hummed when she cooked, talking about her as if saying enough true things might keep her tethered to the world. On the 3rd morning, she opened her eyes. She knew her name. She asked for her mother. The neurologist called it focal retrograde amnesia. Childhood, school, career, intact, but roughly 4 years were gone. Not blurry, simply absent. 4 years that included every moment she'd ever shared with Aaron. When he walked in, she looked at him the way you'd look at a stranger who sat at your table by mistake. "Who are you?" He would later say those 2 words were worse than the phone call, worse than 2 days of watching her breathe through a machine, because at least then she was coming back to him. Now she was right there, and he had never been further from her. Before the accident, they were ordinary. 3 years married, a small house outside the city, grocery runs, weeknight dinners, falling asleep during movies neither wanted to watch. They met through a mutual friend. Aaron said he knew within 20 minutes. Emily wasn't sure until the 3rd date, when he showed up with a first edition of her favorite author, mentioned once in passing. He listened, she told a friend. Not to respond, he just listened. Now she walked through their house like a visitor at a museum. A mug that said, "World's okayest wife." A photo from a vacation, her laughing, his face mid-sentence. "I look happy," she said quietly. "You were," Aaron said. He'd set up the guest room for himself, put sunflowers on the counter. He moved carefully, spoke softly, like a man trying not to startle a bird on his open palm. Emily started a journal with 2 lists, things I've been told about my life and things I actually feel. The second list was much shorter. What followed was one of the strangest things a person can attempt. Courting someone who already married you. Aaron started from 0. He made her coffee without assuming how she took it. She took it the same way, black, 1 sugar. Some things live in the body, not the brain. He told her their stories. She listened. Sometimes she smiled. Sometimes she left the room, and he learned not to follow. Meanwhile, Emily was changing. Painting class, long runs, old friends she drifted from. She seemed, and this hurt Aaron most, lighter, as if the life she'd built with him had been somehow heavy. A college friend told her, "You changed a lot after Aaron. Before him, you were always running. After him, you finally stopped." Did I stop because I found what I was looking for? Emily wondered. Or did I just get tired? Aaron called his brother one night. "She's never going to remember." His brother asked what he'd do. Aaron said, "How do you grieve someone who's still alive?" 3 months after the accident, on the back porch, Emily said what neither of them was ready to hear. "I can see that we loved each other, but I don't feel it. I don't know if I ever will, and it's not fair to either of us to pretend that trying is the same as feeling." "Are you saying you want to leave?" "I don't know who I'd be staying for." "What if I love both versions of you?" Her eyes went wet. "That might be the problem, because I don't know if either of them loves you back." They didn't decide that night, but Aaron stopped trying to win her back, not because he stopped loving her, but because he finally understood you can't convince someone into feeling love. You can only create the space where it might grow and accept that it might not. Emily, for her part, noticed something unexpected. Not romance, but genuine affection. The way he refilled her water glass without being asked. The way he talked to their dog, Walter, in a low, gentle voice when he thought no one was listening. The way he never, not once, made her feel she owed him anything. Then one evening she found him at the kitchen table, sorting their things into boxes, preparing for the end. "What if I'm not ready for you to give up yet?" she said. I thought, I know, I don't remember us. I might never, but I'm starting to wonder if maybe I don't need to. They went on a date, a real one. He brought daisies, not sunflowers, because he wasn't trying to remind her of who she was. He wanted to learn who she was now. Weeks later, doing dishes together, an old song on the radio, and suddenly she remembered. A smaller kitchen, Aaron burning pancakes, the smoke alarm screaming, both of them laughing until they couldn't breathe. 3 seconds, then gone. She dropped a glass, started crying. I remembered something. The pancakes. You burned the pancakes. And Aaron pressed his hands against his eyes and wept. One small memory. It didn't bring the rest back, but it told her the love had been real. Not a story others told her, but something that had lived in her body. Even when her brain let go, some part of her held on. Emily never fully recovered her memory. More fragments came. A flash of their wedding, a note left on her pillow. I'm sorry, you were right. You're always right. It's incredibly annoying. Small pieces. A mosaic, not a mural. She made her choice. Not because she remembered their love, but because she'd experienced something rarer, falling in love with the same person twice. Not the Aaron from stories, the man who slept in the guest room without complaint, who made coffee every morning and asked instead of assumed, who was willing to lose her rather than hold her hostage to a past she couldn't access. They renewed their vows on a Tuesday, backyard. Walter was the ring bearer, which went about as well as you'd expect. Emily's vows. I don't remember the first time I loved you, but you didn't break. You chose to begin again, to love someone who couldn't love you back yet. I'm not the woman you married, but I'm choosing you, not because of who we were, but because of who we are. And for the record, I checked with my neurologist. I'm pretty sure I'm going to remember this one. Aaron's were shorter. The first time I fell in love with you, you didn't know it was happening. I guess some things never change. We believe love is a ledger of shared moments, that without the record it ceases to exist. But Emily lost 4 years, sat across from a stranger with no history, no obligation, and chose him anyway. Not because she remembered, because some things don't need to be remembered to be true.